Yeah, so my service will be well just kind of my thoughts recently about holy days, reflections about how I felt before as a kid and kind of what it meant to me and kind of I guess what I would like to happen moving forward in a way. Um yeah, so I'll start with as a kid, I remember always being quite excited for holy days because not because of the sweets or anything, but waking up really early and being driven to the center at like 5 a.m., which just felt like a completely different world to me when I was a kid. I'm sure my dad wasn't the happiest about it, but we, I know me and my siblings loved it, just waking up and seeing foxes running across the road while we're driving to the center. And yeah, I think it's one thing that was always very that just kind of stood out to me. It was just how different it felt when we woke up that early to go. And I always remember coming here and then there's just everyone's trying to find a room to change because everyone like before we used to have at least us kids and like some like people always had holy robes or Korean robes. So we'd get here and then my parents would be like trying to get us a room to change into like our Korean robes, which were I remember being quite voluptuous. And and then they'll be like putting on their white holy robes, and then we'll all be gathering in the prayer room trying to find like a little space. And then we'd always be trying to run away to our friends. But my parents always trying to get their kids with the family so that they can actually have the service together. And yeah, and it's just I remember this happening almost well with so many holy days and like so many times as a kid. And and I also remember sleeping afterwards. Like they would also get us a couch or a place on the floor to sleep sometimes before we went home. But what was like different about it was just, I guess it was just the atmosphere of waking up early, coming together, and everyone being there for one specific thing, which was to celebrate the holy day. And I feel like it was like a lot of different things. It was different time people were uh like it was not the same as now, but just like I do even with these holy days, I do feel that there is that's there when we have the pledge service or these holy table services that everyone is here to celebrate this time together. And yeah, and when I can't say it feels the same as when I was a kid. I do feel a bit more magical as a kid, probably because I had no responsibilities whatsoever and just got to eat sweets afterwards. And but yeah, and I feel that yeah, it kind of leads into like I find our traditions very interesting and like really, really nice. I think like there's the book of traditions that I always remember being pulled out when it was our birthdays and my parents never knowing which hand to put on our head when they pray and who is supposed to bow to who first. But it was always a highlight. Like I always like for me, the presents came second. I just loved the ceremony for some reason of just waking up way too early and being half asleep while my parents were also half asleep trying to figure out what hand to put on us while they prayed. And I think one time even forgetting whose birthday it was and trying to get David instead of me or something. But it was no, it was definitely like I still really, really enjoyed those services. And then they'll be like, "Oh, do you want some cake?" And be like, "I just want to sleep." But we'd have to cut the cake and get like the tiniest slice for me to eat as just to complete the tradition. But it was and I feel that it's quite like I have this nostalgia, this like nice feeling towards like all of the events and ceremonies that we have. Like even even like the massive ones I've been to, like recently in Korea when we're going to like when we went to the blessing or the big YSP gatherings or like the big UPF event in the Lotte Hotel and stuff. It felt it always just felt nice to me to be there. Like, it didn't feel out of place. I felt that there was always somewhere I could be, very welcomed, and just, even though it's such a massive thing that's happening with thousands of people running around, I'm sure people are stressed out of their minds. I would always be like, this is nice. I'm relaxed here, and just kind of enjoying the time as it came. And I guess one that always stands out recently, and we were reminded recently, was when True Fodder came to Ireland, which was, even now when I think back on it, I can just feel the stress of everyone that was in the center, because it wasn't like, I think there was, this room was filled to the brim of people sleeping on the floor, because there was like people from all around Europe were staying in this church center. And I'm sure the older members were just stressed out of their mind trying to get like True Fodder a room, and like the transport, and getting people and special guests to the hotel. And it was, but like, what I remember is just seeing so many people, and meeting people for the first time that I've come to know quite well, like for the rest of my life. And yeah, it was probably my first experience of like a more global community, with how many people came and to hear Father speak and to help with the event. And yeah, it kind of just, again, it just built like this new atmosphere that I only experienced when there was a big gathering of us, and that we're there for one purpose and one reason alone, which was to hear Father speak and to be together for that. And yeah, and one that also sticks out is when we had the big God's Day celebrations on New Year's. And again, I'm sure people were stressed out of their mind, but as a kid, I just remember like waking up super early, coming in, trying to get like my parents pulling the robe over me, and maybe it being too small at one point, but and then probably taking a nap after the pledge service, but then spending the whole day with like the community and friends, just running around. We'll go out to a Korean restaurant around the corner, and just be like, we can order anything we want. It's like, that's like what, like a 9-year-old or something, just like just just want, like, having that freedom, I guess, in a way. And then coming back and playing games, and the older second gen organizing games, but also forcing us to do a play for everyone. It was always it was fun. It was different. And again, for me, it was all because we were there for one purpose, which was to celebrate God's Day together. And yeah, and this expands to everything that we do, I feel. Whether it's a workshop, it's just service, it's a small event where we just play stupid board games together. I feel that we're there, like we're there together. Like, there's never any doubt about why people are here, what people are doing. And I don't know, I just feel that it's always so special just to have this experience of everyone being there for the same reason. And it's truly, yeah, like I said, it's like, I might not remember a lot of my childhood, but I know for a fact that I remember the holy days. I remember God's days. I remember parents' visits, because it's really ingrained in my brain that the atmosphere, the experience I had because of it was so special to me, that it's something that I feel now. And I always, we might not have the time nowadays to be able to go in the middle of the week at 5 a.m. But it's definitely, it's something I kind of crave in a way, to have that feeling again. That's so powerful. Maybe I can't get it, and it's just because of the childlike whimsy that I felt it and could experience it. But it's definitely something that that I always crave is that feeling. And I think that there's definitely some things that I can do to help gain that atmosphere again, to get that experience. But yeah, I think it's something I haven't let go of, and I don't want to let go of, because it's such a special memory to me, those times. And yeah, and I think looking back, well, when preparing the service, of course, it's holy days. So I tried to look up about True Children's Day and Foundation Day, but I don't know, what always just came to mind is that like True Children's Day is a day for us, like everyone here, because it's a day for God's children, which is everyone. And yeah, I think it's probably in a way the easiest to connect to, because there's not some goal that was trying to be achieved, or like some very like what was it, Korean theoretical like language meanings for it, which have their own special meanings. But for this, it's just Children's Day. It's a day that is for us to celebrate, for in a way ourselves. And but also got me thinking about, when it comes, of course, it's a holy day, so I need to have some holier thinking. So it got me thinking about, in a way, the providence, and kind of how can this day be a bit more special. And it's something that was put on my radar when I went to Russia, and I think is being pushed a lot. And just recently I found out that at some point in Europe there's going to be a 120-day outreach condition. And yeah, and it's just kind of about witnessing and kind of having new people come and to understand. The way I was thinking about it is having new people to understand the importance of this day, of True Children's Day, that how special it is for us and for them, that they can understand it, that the day is truly just about, like, that God wanted a day just for us, for everyone in the world. And yeah, and it kind of just, it got me to think, remembering about my time as this very little time I've done witnessing in Russia, and what made that special for me, which was like talking to, like, just could barely speak a word of Russian, just being kind of put on the streets with another like person, of course, but just to try and stop people and ask them a questionnaire about like family values, or which was what I said, but I never kept to the survey. I asked like 2 questions from the survey, and then I'll just start asking them questions about themselves, and just really wanted to get to know the person a bit more than what I felt the survey would give me. Because it was during that time, of course, we'd read 100K every day and try and get some inspiration for the day. But one that really stuck with me was that it was True Father was like it was like a compilation of True Father's like speeches or talks or 100Ks about witnessing. And one that really stuck out with me is that it doesn't matter if they come, it doesn't matter if they stay. What matters is if you give them a good experience when you talk to them. And for me, it was, in a way, it was hard to connect so much with the idea of getting new members for witnessing, because I knew that I wouldn't really be able to take care of them, because I wasn't going to stay with the whole time. And I could support people and stuff, but it would be hard for me to kind of do the whole process of being with someone throughout their whole time, learning the principle, and if deciding to join if they wanted to afterwards. So I kind of focused on just having a positive experience with them during that time depending on the time, maybe 10 minutes talking to them on the street to maybe half an hour in a cafe. But it was always just like, I just really wanted to get to know them, and I wanted them to know that I wanted to get to know them, and I wanted to see a bit more about where they are in life, what they wanted to do, what they hope to achieve. And yeah, I can. Yeah, I don't know if I'm just being a bit egotistical, but I feel like I definitely did bring a very positive experience to the people I did talk to. And not to brag, but they did say that they did have a good time talking to me. So, but but it was, yeah, it was something that really, not just because to make me feel better, but because that's how I could have connected. Like that's how I could connect to witnessing, was just thinking, I want this person to have a nice time talking to me. I want this person to feel that I care about them, that I want them to be happy. And yeah, and I feel that it's goes back to, there's a series of services I think inspired by John about uh love gets like about there's love gets people here, but truth keeps them, like keeps them, makes them stay, which I think John talked about and Colin talked about as well, and I've mentioned a few times at some sermons. And yeah, it really, during that time I really felt that it was so true that there was like some people that like the people that came to listen to about the presentation about our like carp and our programs and stuff, they were people that I felt that I really truly connected to, and they really connected to me because different reasons. Like one of them, I just like it just like the conversation just derailed into just me asking him questions about himself. With like those two or three of them, and they were just like, one was an engineer. He did like uh robot building competitions, and I was just so interested. I was just like asking questions and just really, really wanted to know more about it, and like related some any experiences I had, which was just watching a TV show called Robot Wars, where some teams would build robots to fight each other in the arena. But and just like he was rushing off to work actually, and then like and I was like, oh, do you want to come to the cafe? I was like, oh no, I can't, have to like to work. And Blair was like, no, come. Like Blair is like was my partner for witnessing that day, and she's like, no, you should come, it'll just be like quick. It's like, no, I really shouldn't. It's like, oh, you can just like do that later. And he's like, all right, fine. And then we actually like we go to the cafe, and he like postponed work to, like, I guess even on the chance of getting fired because he's going to be late, to come and listen to us at the cafe. And I think I talked about it as well, but he was so, we were like, Blair was talking, was giving him the like presentation in Russian, and it like he didn't look super interested, and we're kind of like, I was kind of a bit worried that he's just like kind of so starting to think that we were crazy and didn't want to be around anymore. And then he just goes, sorry, one second. And then there's some people playing Mafia in the cafe, because it's like a cafe where like a lot of college students would like groups would come and like get to know each other and play board games and stuff. So they're playing Mafia and they're being quite loud. And he just goes, one second. And he starts shouting at them to be quiet because he's trying to like listen to what Blair is saying. And we were just like blown away. Like we're just like, this is so awkward. Like, but it really just felt that, like, I really feel like he just like truly wanted to hear what was being said, and he felt he's been distracted by it. And it was the same for like some other people that we met. They just really wanted, to be with us after that we talked to them. They wanted to be around us. They wanted to keep coming back because of us. And like I really thinking about it, it's because I didn't treat them as strangers. I didn't treat them as people that didn't know something. I didn't treat them as like anything else. I just treated them as like as a friend, as another child, as another like as just a person that was there and I wanted to get to know. And yeah, I really feel that like anywhere that you feel that you're welcome, that you feel that people want to get to know you, that you feel that's where you want, like where people want to stay and they want to come back to. And not necessarily here, it could be a club, could be like a group of friends, but that's, I mean, the reason why you keep coming back to friends is because you feel welcomed and wanted. And I really feel that, as that, at least with this day, that we can just remember that everyone is like someone that that wants to be with people and wants to be with each other and wants to feel that they belong somewhere. And ideally, it would be nice if every year we could have someone new to be able to celebrate this day with us. But there's a lot of work to go there. There's a lot of preparation, but I think we've talked about it. I've talked about witnessing before. I talked that we want to do something with it before, and I mean, there's a lot of preparation going into it, even now with the electricity, with the renovations, with everything. It's being prepared for more for like that that people can be proud to bring people here, and to be able to just, I guess, wow people into what we have here and to what we can offer. And yeah, I just might not be next year, might not be year be afterwards, but I really do hope that we can celebrate this day with new people and with more people as time goes on. So yeah, thank you. I'll close with a prayer. Please join me in prayer. Also, my parents, I'd like to offer this prayer to you, true parents, for this day, to really be able to thank you for everyone to be gathered here, and that we could really be able to, yeah, just be able to celebrate this day together, to be together, to extend our love and our care to those around us, to everyone, and to remember that everyone is a child of yours, and that we're all brothers and sisters, and that we can really be as hard as it can be, as difficult as it can be, but at the end of the day, that we could really be able to treat each other that way, that we are a family at the end of the day. And yeah, I want to thank you again that we could all be gathered here online in person to really just take out this little bit of time to offer to you, and that we could really be able to keep you in our hearts and minds throughout the week, and for the new week to come, for new Sundays, new year, and really continue to being together, continue to love each other, to care for each other, and to build our relationships together. I want to thank you for everything. I'd like to report this in our names, Brendan, Blair, and McManus, and all our names here at you.
Thank you very much, Brennan. It's funny because I think the experience of waking up super early for the holy days back in the day was quite the opposite for me. I did not I struggled with no sleep, and I was like, this sucks. But then I think when we got here, and you could feel the community and the whole kind of the sense of like kind of common purpose and common goal. I really did like that as well when I was younger. But yeah, and not the waking up part, but otherwise it was a good experience growing up as well. So thank you. So yeah, we'll just finish with our last closing song, The Lord Is Come. Oh, thank you. So I think in terms of announcements, am I correct in saying that there's a DP competition at 1 p.m.? DP quiz at 1 p.m. Is it going to be in this room? So anyone interested, 1 p.m.?
Should be able to join online, but there is only 20 spaces on the quiz for the 20 quiz.
Okay, so if you want to join the DP quiz online, there's 20 spaces. So first come, first served basis. And yeah, Carl, you have something? Yeah.
Good morning, and to all on Zoom. The board of directors sent out an email last night. I wondered, did you get it?
Yes.
Yes, great. If there's someone who didn't get it, if they could let us know. I think there's one or two people that weren't on that email list. We want to make sure that everybody's on the list. So it's a survey to get some feedback from all members. And we'd really appreciate if you could try and look at the questions. It's kind of not easy to put questions together because sometimes you can't see the wood from the trees when you're putting it together. So we'd ask that whatever you have to say, that you could please say it under any of those questions. Just get your opinions and your thoughts out. It's probably a sort of won't happen too often. And it's just, I suppose, the era that we're entering, True Mothers, talking about 2027, we think there's a big skill set within our movement and a place for people to really come together. Mothers talking about collaboration now, more than I've heard before, between the different organizations. And we just wondered, how could that happen? And it's just the start, I suppose, maybe of moving forward. So we'd ask second gen as well, please fill it out. Some of the questions might be a little bit more complicated, might be for elder members, might give more feedback. So don't worry about them. Just please send in your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, and feel free. It's anonymous. There's a section where we're asking to give feedback as to what you could do. And yeah, it's your email. It's attached to your email through Google. I can guarantee you we don't know where they're coming from.
No, the email is not shared. No, but someone has the information.
Well, I have access. Yeah, I have access to several of us, and we cannot see where they're coming from. So there is a question in there where we do want to know where it's coming from, which is what you might be able to attribute. And this is a really key question because actually you need to be quite humble as well to be able to, bring forth your qualities. And sometimes we find it hard because we're so used to our qualities. It's like True Father talks about that, we don't know what our smell is because it's part of us. So sometimes our qualities are part of us. And when I'm giving someone a compliment, they can say, no, not at all, because you're so used to being like that, or that sometimes you don't see it as a gift. So something, if even you think something that triggers you when you hear about it, like the youth movement or music, or the word will trigger inside that oh yeah, that's an easy thing. That's where your gift is. And we'd ask you, to really, it's a humble position to be able to say, I am good at this. I could contribute here. And so later on, we'll follow up with a more personal email to discuss that further and to ask you more personally what that question was. So you need to register to vote as well. So Eli has the registration link in a previous email. We sent out that on Wednesday again, just a reminder with the registration form. If anyone has any difficulty with that, please reach out to somebody. Just reach out to get that done. That you have to register personally. So if there's a couple, there needs to be 2 registrations, so each person has a vote. We are asking you ASAP to send it back because we'd like to have a look at it before the AGM. 6 people have sent it back already, which is great. And we've given a deadline for Thursday at 7 p.m. So thank you very much. Really appreciate you doing this. It's not an easy task. It's quite intense. You know, it can be quite intense. You can make it as much content as you want to send back to us. So thank you. Okay, have a good day. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Carol. Thank you for the directors as well for putting up the that little Q&A questionnaire out. So yeah, like as Carol mentioned as well, then obviously I think next Sunday is the AGM. So yeah, if you have time, then you can join around, or if you can join online. But yeah, as Carol says, if you plan to go to the AGM next week, either in person or online, you need to register. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if you're not, you should register to vote because it counts the number of voting members.
Gotcha.
And you can give your vote then.
Yeah. So then Eli was just saying that even if you don't plan to go, but you still want to give your vote to somebody else, then you can still register and then give your vote to somebody else as well, if you still want to vote for the AGM, but if you can't make it.
Good point.
We will be sending out just format of proxy votes.
Okay.
You email the secretary if you want, or the directors or somebody, but I mean, it doesn't have to be somebody. I mean, it should be somebody with your proxy, but you email your. How many items are voting?
It's a 4 items. You just forward it. I can forward it, you can forward it to one of the directors. Okay.
Yeah, we just have to fine tune that today, and we will announce that we have them in an email.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, so there'll be an email sent out about this with the details about giving your vote to somebody else.
Vote for the national leader of directors and constitutional changes. 1 or 2 is
What we're voting on and how the things we're voting on.
no.
It is like if you want to vote,
You can give a carded one. You can give a carded one. Right, so they can vote on your behalf.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So any other announcements before we break for lunch? Yes, we have a guest. In classic Irish tradition way, would you like to come up and just give a quick self-introduction, who you are and everything?
Allora, actually, I speak French, but anyway, I'll try my best. My name is Jean-Marie Mbongo from DR Congo. I'm blessed from 1985. No, 95, yeah. Sorry, 95, yeah. 360 couple. Yeah. I got the 2 children. One is blessed already last year. And another one is still studying. But I was involved in the politics. I try to do politics because there are a lot of things happening in my area. I was advised to do politics, but I did I have some problem with the other politician. Because they didn't like me. They wanted to vote me to be a deputy, provincial deputy. But they hijacked my position. Then they started to follow me, like to arrest me. I was arrested almost for 10 days.
So what council we
Congo, DR Congo. Kinshasa. Congo, Kinshasa.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah. I was rescued by another politician. And then I come to UK, France, UK. Then they say I'm not safe there because there are a lot of combatants, a lot of people underground. So they asked me to come to Ireland. They say it's a bit safer here. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, that's why I come here. I'm very glad to see you as family. And I talked a bit earlier with Brother John Kennedy. Yeah, he asked me about the church in Congo. It's a big church, big church. But anyway, maybe also to grow here one day. To grow. And just to witness hard. Because we are doing most of the time we are doing Chombo. The 430 couples, you go to the rural area. It's easy to get member there, easy, very easy. People are very yes, they are very, yeah. You can find a big church or the spiritual church and the pastors, they receive you, then you bless them. Very, very easy. But yeah, it's very difficult. Other day was coming to town because I come almost 1 week and then some days. I just come ask somebody just to information. He started to shout at me.
Where is it?
Oh, they were staying in the Charleston. I just ask information. He shut to shut. I pray, say, what is they say? God said it's very difficult here to get somebody close. It was like a kind of a warning. I feel sorry for you. To approach somebody is not easy. People are not receptive. I feel very sorry. But in Congo, if you approach somebody, it's very easy because people, it's like one missionary say is Reverend Jacques Marion. He say, you work too much in Congo there. He said, you know, like when you see where the ground, when it's a lot of dirty, it's ground dirty, when you throw the seed, it will grow quickly. But the clean ground is not easy. If you throw this, there's no fertilizer. Yeah. But what is dirty? Too much fertilizer. You put the grain, but it's clean, too much clean. People are comfortable. Not easy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much and welcome. So, yes, I believe that is it then. Unless there's any more last minute announcements, I believe Rose has cooked downstairs. So, I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to it personally, but yeah. So, yeah, anyways, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for people who joined on Zoom, and hope you have a lovely week ahead of you. Thank you all.